louder. So shall we be official? Welcome to everyone. And I'm going to start my welcome with those who are Alice, and Lisa, and Mike, and Paul, and Jim, who are around me. And I know that so many out there who, as we joke, are in the little black boxes out there. But I feel you. I know you are there. I feel you in my heart. And I'm so glad you are with us for this special opportunity. And when we decided to have this blessing for our EBS new building, we were aware that this was a very auspicious day, being 9/11, and auspicious also being a day where everyone on this planet is aware of the incredible suffering that is going on in every individual and every family, every country, because of this virus. Every being everywhere is suffering right now. The reason behind our choice for having this special blessing today is that in the early 1990s, a wonderful Lama named Lama Tarchin Rinpoche came to Little Rock as our very first teacher for our newly established Ecumenical Buddhist Society. And in our first building, he came and, among other teachings, he gave a blessing to that building and to the students that came for those teachings. Teaching that he gave came from a teacher that also looked around the world in 800 AD and saw the suffering of beings in Tibet and India and all over the world. He was a great Buddha, and he wrote a teaching to help liberate beings from suffering. And it was called the Organ Medicine Buddha Teaching. In our time, another great teacher found in his great intuition, found that teaching. And his name was Dudjom Rinpoche. And he died in 1987. And he wrote those teachings down. And he was the teacher of Lama Tarchin Rinpoche. And Lama Tarchin Rinpoche translated that teaching from Tibetan for us in Little Rock to receive those teachings from him, specifically to bring healing and blessings, and to allow us to awaken within us the capacity to heal other suffering beings. This was an incredible close connection when you consider hundreds of years passed, and those teachings went directly from Guru Rinpoche to Dujum Rinpoche, to Lama Tarchin, to us. And his blessing was that those who received these teachings at our little EBS center could receive those teachings forevermore, as though the teachings were coming directly from Lama Tarchin's heart, directly to us. And those at EBS could always receive these teachings as though they came from us, from him. And now here we are in a new building, our very own building. And so when it came time to dedicate this new building, even though our dear Lama Tarchin died 8 years ago, we felt that it was very appropriate in this time of great suffering to awaken those teachings, to bless this building with his healing heart energy, to allow all of you out there, everywhere, to receive his blessings and to carry on his blessings for your healing, and to allow all that you love and know in your life to bring that healing to others. This is an incredible opportunity, and so we thank Lama Tarchin and all of the blessings that we've received through him, that our center has grown, and how many of you who never knew us in 1993 are now tuning in to the Zoom and doing these special practices. But you don't need to be a Buddhist. You don't need to do special practices. Everybody, everywhere, from now on can receive Lama Tarchin's blessings. So we will go through this practice this morning. I did the preliminary practices that I'm supposed to do in order to prepare to give these teachings to you from Lama Tarchin to me, and now to you. Almost like we've got a direct plug-in connection to Lama Tarchin, to me, and to you. And now, when you finish, from you to everybody that you want to bring this healing connection to. So I did my practices, and then we, with some others, we walked around the outside boundary of the building to give an outside blessing. And then we came inside and we blessed the inside of the building. And now we are going to fill this beautiful space as though this is a pure land of blessings, of healing, of liberating all beings, not just human beings, but all those of you who have puppy dogs at home, and cats, and the birds that are outside your window, and even the ants that are such a nuisance that crawl in your house. Every living being, we are bringing these blessings to. When we go through this practice, because some of you are not so used to a Buddhist practice, we're going to go a little more slowly than we might, and I will explain the pieces of the practice, because each piece helps to build a foundation of qualities that are already within you. Ineffable, qualities that are inexplainable, that do not have describable words, but are at the heart of your true wisdom self. But we have to become familiar with knowing those qualities within us. And so we will bring each quality into the foreground of our awareness and build almost like stepping stones, piece by piece in the practice, until we come to the most profound parts of the practice, which will be creating the visualization of ourselves as Organ Medicine Buddha. Now, some of you don't have this picture. You might have printed it off of the web page, but this is Organ Medicine Buddha. He's not out there somewhere. He is within you as a manifestation through which you can see this as a tool, as a mirror. Pretend it is a mirror in which you can see your true self. Just like your eyes, you can't see your eyes, but you know you have eyes. And without the tool of your eyes, you would be lost. If you look at the picture as a mirror, when we come to that part of the practice, you can go back to your picture of yourself, and we will recreate it as a way that forevermore you will know who you are in truth. And then we will come to the very important part of the mantra, which actually brings change to wisdom channels within your body and transforms your physical subtle form. And so as we come to those parts, I will describe them to you and tell you, here we are, pay attention. All in all, excuse me, it'll take us about an hour. But we will start with the 7-line prayer. And at the 7-line prayer, again, we will go slowly, first in saying it in Tibetan. And the reason we say it in Tibetan is because these prayers that were written by Padmasambhava in the 800s, he wrote these prayers in Tibetan. And he wrote them with a language that was designed to awaken sacred energies. And then for hundreds of years, thousands and thousands of dedicated people who held you in their heart said these prayers for your awakening and to liberate you from suffering. And so when we say these prayers in Tibetan, we are joining the river of all of these beings who have said these prayers before. Don't worry if you can't pronounce Tibetan perfectly. You can meditate and listen, or you can stumble along, or you can say them as best you can. We'll say them sometimes once in Tibetan and then twice in English. Other prayers we'll say just in English, and some we'll say the mantras just in Tibetan. Just don't worry about anything. Make it effortless. Don't think. Don't struggle. Don't make it something that you have to do perfectly. just relax and enjoy it. When we say the 7-line prayer, we are speaking to Padmasambhava Guru Rinpoche, who saw us when he lived in 800 in Tibet. So first we connect to him. He held us originally in his heart. So we will say to him, just relax, breathe, center on your heart. In Tibet. Urgin Yogi Nubjan Sham Pema Gesar Dompola Yatsan Chogi Nudrubne Pema June Jesudra Kordu Kadro Manko Kor Keki Jesu Dag Druki Jingi Lokir Sheksu Sol Guru Pema Siddhi Hung. In English, Hung, on the northwest border of the country of Oregon, in the pollen heart of a stemmed lotus, you attained marvelous, most excellent accomplishment, renowned as the lotus born. You're surrounded by your vast retinue of dakinis. As I practice following in your footsteps, pray you approach to confer your blessings. Guru Pema Siddhi Hung, and again in English, Hung, on the northwest border of the country of Oregon, in the pollen heart of a stemmed lotus. You attained marvelous, most excellent accomplishment. Renowned as the lotus born, you are surrounded by a vast retinue of dakinis. As I practice following in your footsteps, pray you approach to confer your blessings. Guru Pema Siddhi Hung. And now we'll begin the practice. And the title of the practice is called The Excellent Vase of Nectar, the Ritual of Offering and Invoking the Wisdom Mind of the Oregon Medicine Lama. And in Tibetan, the title is supposed to succinctly capture the whole practice. So again, we will say the first verse. The first time through, we'll say it in Tibetan, and then we'll say it twice in English. The first verse is to go for refuge. And refuge means that we can't do this alone. Such a noble cause that we are undertaking. We need help. And so, surrounding us, we have sacred beings, whether they're Buddhas, whether they're sacred beings from all the lineages throughout history. We can call on them. And we have teachings, great teachings that have been written down for us. And we have others that are following similar paths that can give us support. All of you out there are our Sangha, right here in this building, meeting often every day of the week, are our Sangha. We are surrounded by people who together want to give each other support. And so we remember We take refuge amongst those who will help us. And so in Tibetan, we say, Namo Lama De Shektu Peku Kanchok Sungi Rangjin La Dak Dan Grodruk Sem Chen Nam Jan Tru Bardu Kyap Su Chi. In English, Namo, I and all sentient beings of the six realms go for refuge until enlightenment to the Lama, the embodiment of the Sagatas, the nature of the three jewels. And again, Namo, I and all sentient beings of the six realms go for refuge until enlightenment to the Lama, the embodiment of the Sagatas, the nature of the three jewels. And then our next step is to remember we are not doing this just for our own liberation from suffering. We remember all of the people, every being ever born suffers. Maybe not constantly, but at some point in their life, from illness, from hunger, from pain, from their fear of death. We take a vow that for every being who is suffering, we dedicate our lives, not just this life, but even after this body, as ashes on the ground, maybe even after we're dead, maybe even in future lives, we continue to dedicate ourselves to helping other beings in their liberation from pain and suffering. So we renew our pledge that we will benefit other beings. And in Tibetan, we say, Semke Drowa Kundondu Lama Sangye Drubneni Gangla Gandul Trin Leki Drowa Drel Wardam Chao. And in English, for the benefit of all beings, I develop the intention to accomplish the enlightenment of the Lama. I vow to then liberate all beings through the enlightened activity that guides beings each according to their needs. And again, for the benefit of all beings, I develop the intention to accomplish the enlightenment of the Lama. I vow to then liberate all beings through the enlightened activity that guides beings each according to their needs. And now in the next verse, it's called Gathering the Accumulations, but in a sense, what we're doing is that we're gathering all the accumulations that help us on this path. We're purifying all of our negative karma because we've all done negative things and we want to purify that. We all want to gather around us those who will help us on our path. We all make prostrations. So we will say, first in Tibetan and then in English, Lama Yidam Kandro Chek Nida Pe Maiden Lajuk Lunyaki Sumgu Chek Shell Chinang Sangwe Chu Pabo Nyam Chak Dik Drip Tol Jing Sha Sang Nyak Drup La Jai Ran Mindro Sangyak Chu Kor Kor Nyan Mida Juk Su So Ning Po Sim Chen Don Du Yo Yang Dak Dorje Don Tok Show. And in English, Lama, Yidam, and Dakinis, please approach and be seated on the lotus sun and moon seed. I devotedly prostrate with my body, speech, and mind. I present outer, inner, and secret offerings. I acknowledge and confess impaired and broken vows, misdeeds, and obscurations. I rejoice in the accomplishment of the secret mantra. Please turn the Dharma wheel of the secret mantra that ripens and liberates. Do not pass beyond suffering, and please remain. I dedicate these essential virtues for the benefit of sentient beings. May they release the true meaning of the Vajra. And now we've gathered all of these offerings before us, but we want to bless them. And so here we're developing within us this quality of giving offerings to others, to all the Buddhas and to all beings everywhere. This quality within us of giving rather than taking. So we're opening up these aspects of ourselves. So we're blessing all these offerings that we're making. In Tibetan, we say, Pri Ram Yam Kam Gima Dakyo Kunjam Dongpe Nyang Le Rinchen No Yang Par Chinang Sangwei Chupe Lang Chu Shok Samgi Mikyab Kaying Gang Warrior Om Ahung Benzra Saparana Kam. And in English, we'll repeat the blessing. Re by Ram Yam Kam, all the impure materials are purified from within emptiness. Inside a vast jewel container appears an inconceivable gathering of the pleasures of the outer, inner, and secret offerings, filling the expanse of space. Om Ahung Benzra Saparana Kam. And we'll continue blessing these offerings as though our altar is filled with offerings, and we're purifying them as we say this blessing mantra. Om Maha Shunyata Jana Benzra Sobhawa Atma Ko Aham. Now we are going to visualize Organ Medicine Buddha. So again, if you have your mirror of yourself as Organ Medicine Buddha, and if you don't, we have Organ Medicine Buddha here on the altar. We're going to say in Tibetan the visualization. And during this time, just gently meditate. And if you can look at your picture while you meditate, that's a very good thing. And then we'll go back and say it in English and let the visualization become clearer for you. Shunami Miktom Pe Nyam Ni Le Neyo De Chentana Duk Gijin Yitruk Radne Jelme Kanchen Po Nyo Sarkun Zang Chu Trin Tipe Norbu Bendur Jun Meidang Geg Zum Ji Chak Shen Pelan Shou Chen Chak Ye Chok Jin Nam Gyal Arura Run Pe Nyam Jacques Ben Da Se Nam Chen Yong Ka Yen Den Ze Bar Dreng Kula Sang Po Chu Gu Bear Jam Dan Ula Da Den Shu Yin Shu Ji Yen Cha Gu Gen Rin Shen Do Shel Yo Shani Roll Tap Cha Zer Long Du Ju Kula Sa Su Yahweh Kil Korzo Rab Jam Su Kandro Trun Pung Tro Dren Pa Zam Yi Duk Nya Chik Tro Pa Zum Juk Yul Trul Dor Je Ro Par Shar De Tar Sel We Ne Sum Dru Sum Le Tru Pe Uki Eshe Chendrang Yur. And now we'll do the visualization in English. And just let whatever appears before you appear effortlessly. From within emptiness, free from the conceptualization of phenomena, appears the sacred place of great exaltation, the pure land of lovely to behold, and within it stands the enchanting, great, immeasurable jewel palace. In the center of marvelous gathered offering clouds of Kuntuzanpo, on top of a multicolored sun and moon seat, sits the Lama, organ king of medicine. He is extremely handsome, glowing with the radiance of molten lapis lazuli, youthful with a charming smile, having the magnificent marks and signs. His right hand is in the mudra, is the giving, and holds the triumphant arura, and his left rests in the mudra of meditation and holds a skull cup with a long life face. He holds an ornamented katvanga in the crook of his left arm. He wears an inner garment, a monastic robe, and a brocade cloak, a resplendent fawn skin lotus petaled crown, earrings, a necklace, and a swaying garland of jewels. He sits in an expanse of rainbow lights, place in the posture of royal ease. The mandala of the victorious ones and the three roots are complete within his body, and billowing clouds of infinite medicine protector deities, deities emanate from him. By merely thinking of him, suffering and fears are struck down, and he arises as the play of the Vajra, of the magical display of union. by the light that is radiated from the three seed syllables at the three seed centers. Imagine clearly in this way. Light radiates, invoking the primordial wisdom deity. Organ medicine Buddha is the primordial wisdom deity. And now you are speaking to this aspect of yourself, organ medicine Buddha. So you are invoking him, feeling him in relationship to you. And in Tibetan, we say, Ri Yonggi Kape Dangpola, Organ Yogi Nu Junction, Pema Gesar Dongpola, Yat San Choki Yudrupne, Pema Jungne Jesudra, Kordu Kadro Mangpo Kor, Kiki Jesu Dak Drupki, Jingi Lab Chir Shek Su So, Ne Chok Di Ru Jin Pola, Drup Chok Dak La Wang Shi Kur, Gek Dam Lok Drim Bar Che So, Jok Nam Tum Mong Nud Rup So. In English, free. Once upon a time on the northwest border in the country of Urgen, on the pollen bed of a lotus, you attained marvelous supreme city. Renowned as the lotus born, you are surrounded by a vast retinue of dakinis. As I practice in your footsteps, please approach and grant your blessings. Please send down your blessings on this supreme place. Grant the four empowerments on us, the supreme practitioners. Remove all obstructors, those who lead astray and obstacles, and grant the supreme and ordinary cities. Bindra Samaya Za. And now you're requesting that he stay with you always. And in Tibetan, Ri Rinchen Podran Namrega Jepe Nesu Namre Tro Organ Mengi Lame Sho Yeshing Chingi Lam Shir Sho Samaya Titra Lin. English, Ri Organ Medicine Lama with your retinue, in order to bestow your blessings, be pleased and remain in this delightful jewel palace, in this joyful residence. Samaya Titra Len. And now we're going to make prostrations to Organ Medicine Buddha, which is to really feel yourself respecting this aspect of yourself. In Tibetan, Namo Kegak Kyurme Trinlezo Rangjum Tukche Dro Nam Dro Yejin Yodrup Charbebe Mengi Lamar Cheksalo Ati Puho Pra Titsa Ho. In English, Namo. Your perfect enlightened activity is unborn, unceasing, and unchanging. You liberate beings through self-manifesting compassion, you bring down a rain of wish-fulfilling cities. To you, the medicine Lama, I prostrate. Ati Puho Pra Titsa Ho. Imagine all the offerings you can possibly make to Medicine Buddha that you would give to him with gratefulness. And in Tibetan, as you make these offerings, you say to him, Ri Orgyan Mengi Lame Sho Dungwa Draku Seldep Ki Latse Chi Chopabo Donyo Namji Chopabo Nimi Samwe Chopabo Tingzi Zechek Chopabo Mahasarwa Putza Ho. So as we say it in English, see yourself making these offerings to the medicine Lama of Oregon and your retinue. I supplicate with intense yearning and present the outer offerings of divine substances, present the inner offerings of sensual pleasures, present the secret offerings of non-duality, and present the offering of one-pointed meditation. Mahasarwa Putza Ho. And now we sing his praises in Tibetan. Ri Ma Chu Tru Drel Lama Chu Ki Ku De Chen Lam Chu Lama Chu Ki Je Pe Dang Le Tru Lama Tru Pe Ku Kusum Dorje Chang La Chak Sel Tu. In English. 3. To the Lama, the Dharmakaya, uncontrived and unelaborate. To the Lama, the Lord of Dharma, who enjoys the great exaltation of the Sambhogakaya. To the Lama, the Nirmanakaya, born from a lotus. To Dorje Chang, the embodiment of the three kayas, I prostrate and praise. And now we have done all these preparations to open our heart and prepare all of these qualities that have opened fully so that we can go into our heart for our mantra recitation. And this is a very important part because it's a transformative allowing of our pure, open heart essence to awaken. And we'll say first in Tibetan, and then in English, and then we will say the mantra. Tukarda Tendorje Nang Kang Ter Ritar Nyak Trang Ting Do Par Wei Kor De Le Utru Dro We Ne Nam Sel Surdu Tak Tim Jin Lak Chok Tok Kur. In English, and really focus right here in the center of your heart. At one's heart, upon a flat moon is a vajra. This is a vajra. And within its hollow center is a hri, surrounded by a blazing blue-colored mantra garland. Light radiates from that, removing the illness of beings. The light returns and dissolves into myself, and I obtain the supreme blessings. And so hold in your visualization that in your heart, the little center of your heart, there is a flat, radiant disk, a flat moon. And on it, it's teeny tiny, is a Vajra like this. And in the center of the Vajra is a place where a syllable Hui sits there, and the mantra is like dancing syllables that spin clockwise around that Hui. And as that mantra spins, the blue light of lapis lazuli Buddha goes out and fills the whole universe. And that light of organ medicine Buddha collects the suffering of every being, all their illness, all their pain, their hunger, their struggles, their loneliness, their fear of death. That lapis lazuli light collects all that pain and suffering and brings it back to your heart, to that mantra spinning in your heart. And in that space in your heart, you receive as organ medicine Buddha the supreme blessing of resting as organ medicine Buddha, holding all of that in purity and pure wisdom. And then the light flows back out, filling the universe again and again and again, collecting suffering from all beings and leaving them free of suffering, leaving them healthy, leaving them as Buddhists, and comes back to your heart. And that light flows just back and forth and back and forth. It returns to you as Buddha, to your pure wisdom, true mind, flowing back and forth. And as this flowing continues effortlessly, just dynamic flow, effortlessly, we say the mantra of organ medicine Buddha. And we will say it together slowly 3 times so you can hear yourself say it. And then you continue to say it at your own pace 21 times. And if you have a mantra, a mala, you can say the mantra with your mala. If not, you can just say it for as long as you wish. And I may not count to 21 before I end you, but we'll go from that mantra to the next mantra. But as much as you can, keep the light just flowing out and back and out and back as you say the mantra. So again, focus on the light, lapis lazuli light flowing out into the universe, collecting the suffering of every being. That bird who's lost his partner, that mother lion whose little pups have all died, the starving mother in China whose baby has died, families who have lost their family members to COVID, all of the suffering beings. That lapis lazuli light has gathered up their pain and brought it back to your heart. And we say together, Om Ahung Benzra Guru Pema Totrin Sa Benzra Samaya Sa Siddhi Pala Hung Ah Om Ahung Benzra Guru Pema Totrin Sa Benzra Samaya Sa Siddhi Pala Hung Ah Om Ahung Benzra Guru Pema Totrin Sa Benzra Samaya Sa Siddhi Pala Hung Ah So keep going, saying 21 times for the mantra. And as much as you can, visualize the light. Om Hum Benzoguru Pimatokam Sal Bentrasamaya Sasini Om Hum Benzoguru Pimatokam Sal Bentrasamaya Sasini Benzoguru Pimatokam Sal Bentrasamaya Sasini Hum Benzoguru Pimatokam Sal Bentrasamaya Sasini Palahung and keep your visualization going out. In and out and in, and we will say the next mantra. We'll say it slowly 3 times together, and then I'll have you say it additional recitations on your own. Namo Bhagavate Bekatsi Guru Bedruya Prabha Rajaya Tathagataya Arhate Samyak Sambuddhaya Teyata Om Bekatsi Bekatsi Maha Bekatsi Raja Sumagate Soha Namo Bhagavate Bekatsi Guru Bedruya Prabha Rajaya Tathagataya Arhat Samyak Sambuddhaya Teyata Om Bekatsi Maha Bekatsi Raja Samagate Soha Namo Bhagavate Bekatsi Guru Bedruya Prabha Rajaya Tathagataya Arhate Samyak Sambuddhaya Teyate Om Bekatsi Raja Samagate Soha. And I'll have you continue to say it up to 7 times, continuing the visualization. Namo Bhagavate. Now, keeping that focus on your heart, we're going to say in Tibetan, Semchen Gulu Jikpe Nejum She Mizu Duknyal Neki Nyempana Yini Te Son Me Par So Wadip Organ Mingi Ladang Yer Me Pe Sheze Me Bayan Barche Ye Parcel Organ Pema June La Sowadip Sampalungi Drupar Chingi Lo. In English, When fearful diseases arise in the illusory bodies of sentient beings, threatening us with unbearable suffering and disease, I supplicate you without doubt or hesitation, you who are inseparable from the Medicine Lama of Oregon, remove all obstacles and untimely death. Or Oregon Pema June, to you we pray, grant your blessings so that all our wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And now we will say the next part in Tibetan. Organ Mingi Lama Gong Su So Kela Chu Tu So Wata Pe Tu Yal Ten Dar Xing Ten Zin Ya Tange Jig Ten De Xing Ne Muk Shon Truk Ji Duk Sung Yu Drug Ne Pat Se Ne Chong Ke Bar De Shek Nam Gi Mon Lam Dan Tuk Dam Shel She Dak Suk Sim Chen Gi Nur Du Dru Par Chin Gi La Tu So. English, Medicine Lama of Oregon, please heed me by the power of offering, praising, and supplicating to you. Spread the doctrine of the victorious one and expand the dominion of the doctrine holders. May the world be happy, and may disease, warfare, famine, and conflict be pacified. May all misfortune related to the cause and result of the three poisons be completely conquered. Particularly may I and all sentient beings be blessed with the accomplishments, aspirations, and promises of the Sagatas. And so take a moment and be aware of what your prayers were as you were making prayers, maybe for yourself and your healing, or your loved ones, or for the world. What were your prayers as you made supplications? As you asked Organ Medicine Buddha to be here and be with you and remain and fulfill your wishes as you made offerings to him, what were your wishes? What were your supplications? Take a moment and see your prayers fulfilled. If you saw a world without famine, see all people with food. If you saw a world without disease, see people healthy. If your body is struggling with a cancer or an illness, see yourself free of disease. See Organ Medicine Buddha fulfill your prayers and wishes. And now, in English, we are entering the most important. Everything's important, everything's perfect, but we'll call it the most important. part of the practice. Tibetan will say, Tungi Lama Mengila Gepe Oje Ranglatim Kusung Tukyan Trin Ledan Yerme Chin Por Chin La Pure. My Lama, the Supreme Medicine Lama in front, joyously melts into light, dissolves into me, and I become blessed with the great inseparability of non-body, speech, mind, qualities, and activities. So just rest for a moment and see in front of you organ medicine Buddha, who is truly you, but manifesting before you. He's looking at you with love. He is so pleased with you. And the light of his body, that lapis lazuli light, radiates out and fills the universe and blesses every being and transforms them all into organ medicine Buddhas. And then that light gathers back into his body and from the outside in gathers back into the center of his heart. That little ball of light now gathers into a radiant ball of light about the size of your thumbnail in the center of his heart, and it travels up through the crown of his head and goes to the crown of your head and passes down through your center channel into your heart and spreads out. Feel it fills your body with lapis lazuli light and all of the qualities and accomplishments, the pure, true essence of organ medicine Buddha. You fully, completely, truly are organ medicine Buddha. And that light fills the universe, blessing every living being everywhere. Liberate every being from suffering, transforms them into their highest, purest self, and gathers back to you. And that light gathers from the outer edges of you back into your heart, and from the bottom, top, down into the center of your heart, to a little tickly of light right in the center of your center channel. Radiance of awakened energy, and dissolves into pure emptiness. And now effortlessly resting in emptiness. No effort. Just resting now in meditation, in vast, empty wisdom mind, pure mind, true self. Forever will rest in meditation for maybe 5 minutes until I ring a little bell. And if you get a little distracted, just say, bring yourself back to your breath. Back to yourself. As we return to words and concepts and leave this space of resting in Organ Medicine Buddha with such clarity, you may forget who you are as Organ Medicine Buddha. But forevermore, even when you forget, you are Organ Medicine Buddha. You do not need to sit around and think, what would Organ Medicine Buddha do to fix this person or to fix the world? This is an effortless practice. Forevermore, for all of your lifetimes, whether you're in a body or out of a body, whether you're making out your grocery list or paying your bills, you need not effort. You need not struggle. Aspect of yourself that is Organ Medicine Buddha knows how to benefit beings effortlessly, and their connection to you brings them to you because you know. Even when you have totally forgotten that you are Organ Medicine Buddha. Now, of course, the more you practice and the more you bring this practice into your life, and the more you live it, and the more you fully actualize yourself as a fully realized being, the only difference is you will have more clarity and awareness, living, being present to these qualities within yourself. But you do not need to work at it, and you do not need to stress about it, and you do not need to figure out game plans about how to fix people or to make these things work. Organ Medicine Buddha within you knows effortlessly. And those who see you, those who talk to you, those who merely hear your name, have that connection, maybe a karmic connection to some other aspects of you, but they know you as Organ Medicine Buddha, and what you say has benefit to them. And you don't need to worry about it or work at it. Just hold that intention to manifest as clearly as you can, to love them. Remember that line in our practice, that Organ Medicine Buddha benefits beings according to their needs. You know, as Organ Medicine Buddha, how to do that effortlessly. You'll forget. You'll think you need to figure it out, but you don't. Even when you forget, try to remember. You already know. So we say the next part, which dedicates the merit that all of us get for trying so hard to do such good things. But every being everywhere gets the merit too, because we love them and we want them to have the merit as well as us. So we say, Gewadi Nurdudak Menpeg Yapo Drukyurne Drawa Chikyang Malupa Dehi Salagopar Shok. By this virtue, may I swiftly accomplish the King of Medicine, and then by that, may I establish all sentient beings in that state. And then we say, Lame Tompa Menpe Gyapote Chomden Chikten Sumna Kyapse Pa Duksum Nesel Organ Mengila Bendur Yayi Oki Tashi Sho. The King of Medicine, the teacher of gods and humans, is the conqueror that protects the three worlds. Organ Menla, who cures the sicknesses of the three poisons through your lapis lazuli light, may all be auspicious. So rest a moment in that space of you as organ, medicine, Buddha. And again, we are so grateful to Lama Tarchin Rinpoche, our very own organ medicine Buddha. And so if you have it, I think the little book does not, but we'll say the supplication to Lama Tarchin Rinpoche in English. Great lineage descendant of 100,000 Vidradharas, Lord of dance, Haruka of bliss emptiness, guardians of Sangha Mandala, and master of knowledge, love, and ability. Cedric Tarchin, at your lotus feet, I pray. Prayer for long life for Lama Tsultrim Pamo. And because we all forget that we're Buddhas, we all should have a long life prayer to remember. In English, we say Om, by the truth of the pure nature of reality, and by the blessings of perfect karma and aspirations, endowed with a wealth of altruism and wisdom, Tsultrim Pamo, holder of Padmasambhava's lineage, may you overcome the forces of all adversities. May you live long, and may all your aspirations come true. And I say thank you to our wonderful Lama Anam Tutin, who has often come to the center and has a practice here, who wrote both long life prayer for Lama, for this supplication to Lama Tarchin, and the long life prayer for Lama Tsultrim Pamo. Gratefulness to him. And I thank all of you, and all of you, I'm so grateful for all of you for being here. And Ellis is our thank you guy. So Ellis has some thank yous from both of us.
Yes. Well, quite a few, actually. This has been quite a wonderful experience. First, I would like to express profound gratitude to Lama Tarchin Rinpoche for his many blessings and activities that inspire many of us and continue to bless us all. And this Lama Tsultrim has noted Thank you, Mama Socha Palma and Cox, for leading this Oregon Men Love lesson and practice, and to bless this beautiful home and Clinical Needs Society. And also for all her activities on behalf of ABS, the community, the incarcerated, and all beings. We also honor all the teachers from all the lineages who have blessed ABS and all of us with their presence and teachings over the years. And we thank some of their students for joining us today earlier as we circumambulated the building and the blessing of the center. We would have loved to have all of you here, all of you out there, and all of the students here. But unfortunately, the pandemic realities just dictated it. But know that you were in our hearts. Special and big thank you to the EBS Board of Directors led by Sharon Woodard for their vision and commitment to EBS's future. I also want to thank our fabulous EBS crew who made this event today possible. Lisa Kessler kept us out of trouble and also Paul Carreras, Mike Muller, Steve Wilkinson, Doug Holmes, Molly Carson, and Marshall Zamora, all of whom made contributions to make this event happen. We'd also like to invite you to visit the Oregon Medicine Llama page on the EBS website at EBSLR.org, where you can find information, more information about healing from the teachings of Lama Tsultrim and her teachers. All of EBS's meditations and practices are online, and we invite you to join us. Visit ebslr.org for details. And if you are so moved, there is also a link to make a donation to the center. Finally, we thank all of you for joining us today. Though we are not together physically, we are inseparable in great wisdom and connection. Lama Tsultrim and I pray that Oregon Medicine Lama fills you with blessings, overflowing, bringing healing and ultimate healing to you and to all beings from our hearts. Thank you.
This is Lisa, and I just like to say thank you so much to Anna and to Alice for making this happen. And we so appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa, so much. And thank you, Paul, for keeping us online so we didn't disappear into the ether somewhere. And Mike for helping, Jim for sweeping and lobbing trees and helping me keep the act together.
Well, then Anna
Everybody.
discovered we had chiggers on the that's why we went on the concrete.
We blessed them all.
So Anna helped bless and liberate chiggers.
We liberated chiggers too.
And in appreciation, we have some gifts. Our Donna to you. These were made by one of our EBS members. It's a cutting board
Lovely.
that will help you as we cut through
Obscurations.
delusion and obscurations. And
That's beautiful.
I wouldn't dare put food on this now after that. Isn't that beautiful?
They are
And thank
See,
you.
really beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh
you
my,
guys are great.
Steve
This is so
made
much.
these.
Steve Wilkinson.
That's
Oh,
Steve. He's so talented.
He's very talented, yeah.
thank you. Oh,
This is
these
just
are
so
beautiful.
Wow.
Oh,
Goodness.
okay, I said no. Should I stop the recording?
Oh, we only went over 25 minutes. An hour and 25 minutes.
Oh, well.
Goodbye, everybody. If you haven't seen us yet, thank you so much. I wish I could see everybody in your little boxes.